Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Otaku Tea episode.
Otaku Tea Podcast,
Otaku Tea podcast.
episode number 12.
Oh my gosh, we're already 12. We've actually had like two breaks so far with this,
Yeah.
but it's okay. There was one for, or was it three? I think it was three.
Well, there was the holiday
The
thing,
holiday.
so we had that, and then there was
One that I just couldn't do it.
right, and then last week I couldn't do it because I got a kidney stone.
Oh my gosh, how is that?
Uh, well, the first night was basically death. But after that, I went to the hospital, got medication, took some of that, and then I was good. But now I'm just waiting for the stone to pass, and it hasn't gone anywhere.
Oh gosh, that just sounds horrible.
Yeah, so I've been working from home. Thankfully, my job sort of allows that, but I think next week well, I guess this week I have to start working at the office again.
Oh gosh, same though. I have to go back. Like I went back Friday, but now I actually have to go back with the kids on Monday.
Like officially.
Officially, yeah. Schools are now reopening again.
Did you get vaccinated?
I got my first dose finally, but I have to wait until April to get my second dose.
When in April? Like first
I
week?
believe the 7th.
That's pretty far out.
I know. My brother got a little surprised because he said usually it would be a minimum of 2 weeks you would have to wait, but I have to wait a whole month.
Uh
From
huh.
well, based on when I got my first dose,
What?
but
Which vaccine did you get?
I am not sure. I think I got Moderna.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because like one of them is like 2 to 3 weeks, and the other one's like 3 to 4 weeks between the doses. So I guess you have the one that's 3 to 4.
Yeah, I think I got the one that's 3 to 4. But a lot of people have been asking me, like, have you felt anything? Are you okay? Are you alive? And
It's a vaccine. Like, what are they expecting?
I mean, because apparently a lot of people have gotten harsh side effects on their second dose. Like,
Right, but that's like your body reacting to what it now recognizes as a virus. So that's just your body. That's not like any virus that's hurting you or anything.
yeah, I know. The only, I guess, side effect, if I want to call it, for the first dose was like the bruising feeling, like what do you call it? When you get like your regular flu shot, your arm just feels a little bit sore.
Right.
Um, and
Soreness
then
at the injection site.
yeah, exactly. And then after that, like maybe a week and a half later, it started to become a little itchy. Which I don't know if it's alarming, but I did get like a small rash around that area. But other than that, like it's now calmed. It's not bothering me anymore. It's past.
Uh huh.
Yeah, so that's what I'm afraid about the second dose because a lot of people have been getting side effects like fever, weakness, um, besides like the soreness. But yeah,
Right.
some people I've heard had to like take the next day off because they just couldn't. So
Well,
I
that'll
don't know if
be
this
the
will get.
first day you've ever taken, right?
Yeah, so it usually no, usually the first day it doesn't like you don't get the side effects right away. It's usually the next day you feel it.
Right,
Um,
but I'm saying like for you at your job, the first day you take off ever.
Oh my gosh, yeah. If it ever happens to me, then yeah, I probably would just be like, listen, I'm not coming in. I'm not doing it. Someone take over my class."
Yeah. You should take more days off.
I mean, it's like I don't know. It's just like pressure on teachers to not take days off. Just because like at least from my past experience, when I did take days off, either the kids didn't do the work, it was not enforced. My classroom was left as a disaster, a mess, like papers everywhere. There was so much garbage, as if like the janitors didn't come in for like 3 days. Um, so like everything was everywhere. Like you can tell kids were at my desk, even though there is a teacher there. But I'm like, you wouldn't let this. you wouldn't want this happening in your classroom, so then why let it happen in mine? So that's why it's always like the kids don't do their work, and then the teachers don't collect it properly, which is what I'm like, it's not even substitutes, because in my at my school we try to not have substitutes, we try to just have other teachers take over. But these are like professionals, and yet you can't do your job but in a different classroom. That's what I never understood. But
Well, it's because that's the way they are in their normal classrooms too.
no, they're not actually. Like they keep their classrooms 110, because I even have sub in other classrooms and I see that everything's all spotless and organized. So I try to keep things spotless and organized. I try to keep kids at their desk, avoid them walking around, because I know that they like touching, I know they like doing other things, I know they like playing. So I try to keep all the students in their desks doing their work, and they don't get to talk or like have, side conversations until they're done.
Right.
um but for some reason when it comes down to my classroom, it's free for all. You do whatever, I'll put on a movie and you guys figure it out. Basically, that's just how it goes. And I
Uh huh.
usually would expect it from like a, an elementary school classroom that would look like that, but I teach high school. So seeing my classroom become like a whole playground is like, all right, the two sides have to have this happen, because the teacher wasn't being responsible, or teachers weren't being responsible, and then the kids were not being responsible. So I don't know.
Sounds like the principal should be involved.
She's not going to do anything. That's all I know. She really
Exactly.
won't. But anyways, besides from that depressing stuff, there has been more depressing stuff here on YouTube, actually. A lot of depressing stuff happening on YouTube.
More than usual.
I mean, I usually don't care about these big YouTube influencers like Jeffree Star, David Dobrik, Tana Mongeau, James Charles. Like, I don't really care about any of them, because I don't watch most of their stuff. Like, I did used to watch Jeffree Star's videos. Now I don't. I actually unsubscribed to him, and um because of what's everything's happening, especially with Trisha Paytas. But like, basically, I don't know why, but like if you happen to follow one of like the influencers, like the big influencers here on YouTube, you will get like the tea or like drama channels pop up onto your screen, because some way, somehow, these influencers are getting themselves into like harsh allegations and harsh dramas,
I
which,
mean, that's how the smaller YouTubers get their fame. They just accuse other people.
I mean, not all. I mean, because me and you, we are small YouTubers, but we're not doing that.
Yeah, but like that's how they get their fame. That's how they want their fame. Some of them, and
Some of
like
them,
they
yeah.
get the views by like accusing other people, and then you get this whole big I don't know, like confusion and who said that and did they say that and who said what and who did what, and it's just like all over the place.
I mean, I guess, but it all depends on who. Because I know that there are other big YouTubers, which in this case is very few big YouTubers who actually are wholesome and stay to their own stuff instead of like getting into trouble with other people. And same thing with small YouTubers. There are some small YouTubers who rather just make it up on their own. And then there's some that just like will rather get into any type of thing to
Uh
get up
huh.
there quicker, very quick. But I don't know. There's just so much. Like, even if you are a small YouTuber, you are some sort of an influencer. I think if you have a good amount of followers, you have become some sort of influencer. But if you're a big YouTuber like the Paul brothers, or like I said, like Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, Rylan Adams, all of those, like, you now have a bigger platform where your decisions and the way you do things will either influence your followers and impact them, whether it be a positive impact or a negative impact, which is very, very alarming. just because a lot of them have been making the wrong decisions most of the time, and now it's like they're getting backlash, and then there's a lot of fans who are like, no, protect them at all costs. Which then it comes to the question, like, to what extent should you be protecting these YouTuber influencers? Like, in what cases should you be doing that? You
I don't
know,
think they need protection. They can handle themselves.
they could, they really could. Um, but like for example, right now, what was the recent scandal that was happening on YouTube? Oh, with David Dobrik and Trisha Paytas. Um, I'm still subscribed to Trisha. I actually unsubscribed to Jeffrey. I've unsubscribed to Shane. Just because like I don't agree with a lot of what Trisha does, but I know from what I'm seeing, and in my own personal opinion, like everybody else has their own opinion, and you can disagree with me with that. But like she's trying to be happier and she's trying to grow and she's trying to get help for her mental illnesses. So the fact that she's now advocating for the victims and she's calling David out because like his scandal was he had a party where he had I believe underage girls drinking and things happened to those underage girls, which a few of those underage girls came out and talked about it, like brought the situation to light. And now David was like, I'm sorry, but that basically didn't really happen like the way people were saying that it happened. And Trisha was part of the vlog squad as like not part of the team, but because she was going out with Jason at the time, and Jason I believe is part of the vlog squad. She has witnessed a lot of these things happen, or just that not a lot of people came out and spoke about it. So once somebody did speak about it, she also went up to speak about it too, that she's witnessed this stuff. In my part, I would say she shouldn't have been quiet for so long, but then again, she's a big influencer where I'm actually kind of glad that she is speaking up about the situation. But David and his lawyers are trying to discredit her because she has mental illness. So it's basically like she's crazy. You don't believe in crazy,
Uh huh.
which is a big red flag to me. I'm like, if someone has a mental illness, you don't discredit them just because you think they're crazy. A lot of people have mental illness. I have mental illness. So it's a little bit insulting for people to say that. But like that's where we are trying to see if people's past are still going to catch up to them, because I know Trisha has done a lot of things that were not acceptable. But do you happen to think people can grow and like not change their past, but to be a better person in the future?
Well, yeah, that's literally the whole idea of a justice system. I would think that obviously, like if someone does something wrong, they should uh, be able to learn from it, and uh, obviously, certain actions should be taken against people who don't learn and stuff like that. But like, it shouldn't just be punishment for the sake of punishment.
All right, so you're also saying you approve of also like restorative justice. I believe it's what that's called.
Like so someone gets sent to prison, basically their professional life is over at that point because any job that they will apply to afterwards, they'll see that they're a felon and they won't hire them.
True. But like even if it wasn't such like a crime, I feel like everybody has the opportunity to grow if they genuinely want to grow as a person. Because I know that there are, for example, some YouTubers who pretend they're growing just to feel sympathy, like for people to feel sympathetic towards them,
Uh huh.
and to like have, I don't know, more fame for their actions. And being like, because like I kind of fell into that loop, unfortunately, with Shane Dawson, because I knew, because like growing up, and I don't know if you used to watch Shane Dawson growing up, like have you?
Uh, Rarely. I think I watched. Um, what was the? Who's the other big YouTubers at the time? Like the
Smosh,
yeah, Smosh and I
Higa,
think Fred.
Fred. Oh my gosh, I hated Fred by the way, but
He
yeah.
was funny.
Oh gosh. But like for example, Shane Dawson, right? He started off as like doing all of these like skits that brought up a lot of stereotypes. And like for me, like when YouTube started and that was like the only content, basically one of the only content out there, like I was a bigger fan of Smosh than I was of Shane Dawson, but I didn't think of anything wrong with it, but also maybe because of my upbringing, because I was just like, we're all human. Like, there shouldn't be, this barrier between us. Like, that's just how I was raised. And, like, I guess I was just that naive to not think that this was like stereotypes and this wasn't racism. Um, but like I didn't think of anything wrong. It kind of just went over my head because at the time I think I was in middle school when like YouTube was hitting hard. And now people are saying, well, you were making all these racist comments, being very stereotypical of all of these characters you were like playing. And like at some point I knew like he apologized for all of that and I was like, okay, his content had now changed from all of that over exaggerated stereotype characters that he used to play to now just conspiracy theories. And I thought, okay, great, he actually does um feel sorry and doesn't want to go back to doing the things he was doing because he actually knows that what he was doing was wrong. But then to see the second apology video about that and about the quote unquote pedophilia allegations as well, because in one of his podcasts he said the 6 year old looks kind of sexy because of the way she was dressed, and that kind of was like a little awkward to hear. And so
Was he like talking about cuties or something?
I don't remember what the topic was, but it was like something about like letting their kids like dress up in a certain way, and like the
Or like
6 year
beauty
old,
pageants in general?
yeah, like that, like dressing very I guess inappropriate for a child's age, like for a 6 year old to be dressing up like an adult,
Right.
basically, which he, I guess I'm not trying to excuse him, but he did. If that wasn't his intention, he used the wrong word. He called a 6 year old sexy. Now if that wasn't his intention, then he really chose the wrong word for that. Um but
Uh-huh.
then a lot of people took it, like that, and then it was a whole backlash. So if his intention was a pedophilia comment, then I'm glad he got that backlash. If it wasn't, then I think he should have um realized that. But then it's hard to think that way because once he actually became friends with Jeffree Star, like he wasn't wholesome anymore. Like he was friends with Trisha for like 12 years and he was like wholesome that way. At least what I thought he was. But once he became friends with Jeffree Star and into like the beauty community, which the beauty community is very, very toxic. Um if you're like one of the big beauty gurus on YouTube, that community is very toxic. And like just got in it. He became part of the problem, part of the issue, and yeah, like that's just how kind of Shane Dawson's went downhill from there. He lost a lot of people. He lost a good friend, which was Trisha, because she defended him throughout that whole scandal he had, and not once he defended her
Uh-huh.
it publicly. Like how much, like having a platform, you sticking up for somebody using your platform says a whole lot. Like, and it can either damage you so much or make people understand you so much. But the fact that he didn't defend her when she had and basically Jeffree Star and all of these other like friend groups of Jeffree Star started to pick on Trisha, and not once Shane has publicly defended her, kind of said a lot. It kind of told me at least that he's afraid of Jeffree, or he prefers Jeffree over Trisha, even though he barely knew Jeffree and he basically in a way grew up personally and in the YouTube community as like siblings. So the fact that he exchanged her so quick was very shocking. Just imagine you having a best friend and they meet another person and they just switched up on you. That's sad.
I mean, it sounds like he did for the fame and fortune.
He made a good amount of money from his makeup line, which is what made Jeffree Star's cosmetics a hit, really, because Jeffree Star had a good sales with his own makeup and his own work, but everyone loved Shane. Like, Shane was up there to one of the most respected YouTubers out there. And once Shane's face was put on Jeffree Star's cosmetics, basically he got double the revenue because of Shane. Uh, and Shane started to sell his merch through Jeffree Star. I forgot what the company name is for their merch sales, but like, yeah. And honestly, like, Jeffree has made videos with Trisha, and they seemed like close friends too. But Trisha has always defended Shane before Jeffree, and that
Uh
says
huh.
something. The fact that Shane is silent when it's Jeffree attacking, that's really heartbreaking. Especially if you're seeing it in footage, like someone is actually getting hurt from this. Uh, and yeah, so I'm glad she's not friends with Shane anymore, because it seems like Shane has been going down the wrong path, especially after the whole scandal he had.
Right.
Um, it seems like he's trying to come back to YouTube using his fiance, which is Rylan, because Rylan has been showing Shane in his videos, but I don't think it's gonna work.
What do you mean, like coming back to YouTube? Did he
Like,
leave?
he left because also YouTube demonetized all of his videos.
Uh huh.
After all the allegations, YouTube said you're not making any more money from your YouTube videos. And I don't know if that's been lifted or if Shane, because Shane has a second channel, just Shane Glosson. I don't know if that one was demonetized, but Shane hasn't come out and said anything about him trying to come back, because he basically keeps joking around saying he's canceled on YouTube, which you knew what was going to happen. Like, and he seems fine about it, and I don't know how he seems okay with it. You know what I mean? Um because Shane also has mental illness. He has issues with his own self. So the fact that you're also contributing into all the drama is something that I just don't understand.
I guess a way to prop yourself up and not feel like you're being inhibited by anything if you can put others down. I don't know. It's just bully behavior.
But that was the thing, like, for a time Shane was always like, love each other. We're all friends here, right? But what did alarm me was that a lot of his documentaries for YouTubers, they were all white. None of the YouTuber documentaries he made were people of color. Um, but then
Were
again,
those to like promote people, or
that
how
was
did
to
that?
like make them look, because for example, Tana Mojo, she's horrible right now, and I do believe she needs to be canceled because she has a lot of young followers, like 12, 13, 14 years old kids following her with the things she does. And she's been doing awful things, especially right now in the pandemic. She's been having a lot of house parties. She's been going to parties, not respecting the 6 feet apart, not the CDC rules, or even wearing masks. Um, so she's promoting things that obviously is teaching kids, like, oh, if nothing's happening to her, then nothing's gonna happen to me.
Right.
But one of the documentaries that Shane did with Tana was that she tried to challenge, um, what's it called when YouTube has their own con? I forgot what that is called. Um, but because she was banned, basically.
VidCon, I think, right?
VidCon, yes. So she was basically banned from VidCon, and she got so salty about that. So she made her own con.
Right.
Literally the
TanaCon.
same TanaCon, yes, especially since the same day as VidCon, and that went horribly wrong. I personally believe that that was all on purpose. That Tana really did not give two craps about her fans, because
Well,
clearly
didn't she take the ticket money and run basically?
she basically did that. I don't know if she gave refunds back, which I doubt she did. I don't know if there was anything that like she gave back to the fans as an apology, but it sounds like they basically took the money and ran with it. Especially like even in the Shane Dawson, like his whole thing about that was to quote unquote show the truth, but it was mostly to make Tana look good. Like, oh, let's sympathize with Tana. She tried. She's a YouTuber. She's 20 something years old. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. I'm sorry, Shane, but if you knew that she's a 20-year-old YouTuber who doesn't know what the fuck she's doing and you're very close to her, you should have said, listen, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Don't do it. It's going to end up horribly wrong. Now, a lot of people ended up going to TanaCon because Shane was going. Shane doesn't appear in any, he only appeared maybe once to VidCon, but he never goes on to any of these cons anymore because he doesn't want to, and he tried to support her with going. So that means double or triple the fans went to TanaCon instead of VidCon. Um,
Right. And if he knew he did have that sort of influence over her followers, he should have, I guess, helped more with like the whole setting up and make sure that like safety was the priority and all that. It doesn't sound like he really did much for the organization of it.
he didn't, but wanted to clear the water afterwards, which even
Yeah,
in his
just so
own
that he doesn't
video,
sound bad.
yeah, right? Like he sounds like a friend who's just helping another friend out or trying to, cuz he was even saying in the beginning of his intro before the actual talking with Tana and the other guy that he's going to be hard on her. Like he's going to be a dad figure. But he didn't do that. He didn't call her out on any of it. He basically was like, "So you thought this was happening, but this guy basically lied to you the whole time." And she was just like, yeah, yeah. Her tears were crocodile tears, like, or not. Let's not use that. Let's say they were so fake that it was laughable. And I was just so annoyed watching the 3 parts documentary for that, um, because every time she wanted to convey that she felt bad, that she was basically lied to, she cried like a big baby. But when Shane was like, but this makes no sense, quiet. No crying. No nothing.
Uh-huh.
Um and honestly, like if you did feel bad, you would be crying the whole entire time. But also like even in the footage that Shane posted in that video, you clearly can hear Tana say, "Yeah, let's invite all these 4,000, 5,000 fans when we obviously only have room for 1,000.
Right.
Wouldn't that be funny?" Like, clearly, if no one, I don't know if anyone heard that part of the video. I think it was in part 2. But, like, you can clearly hear that Tana was in an agreement with this. And then later on, she wants to say that she didn't know that the max capacity was only 1,000 people. How can you not know if you joked about it?
And that should be something or organizer should be aware of like 24/7 that this is the max capacity. Don't exceed it. Make sure you
Exactly.
have all the proper lines set up and the crowd handling. Make sure you have like the correct security, you have
Which they
medical
didn't.
staff on standby and all that.
Which they didn't.
Right. So,
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Shane's documentaries, which he also included Jake Paul, Tana Mojo, Jeffree Star. Um, these are all very controversial people. I don't like the fact that at the end of it, he kind of made it seem like we should feel a little bit sympathetic towards these people because they were being misunderstood. Because right after each of those documentaries, they've gotten worse.
uh-huh.
Jake and Logan Paul has gotten worse. Tana is now doing all of this and she's gotten way worse. Jeffree Star has gotten so much worse that like literally today I just saw a video where Jeffree made a last minute meet and greet with a bunch of fans because he also recently cut his hair and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Jeffree cut his hair." One, no one cares. I'm sorry, no one really cares. But he had this meet and greet and he was the main person to not wear a mask. He was telling people on his like Instagram that like oh, let's have air hugs, but he literally was physically hugging everybody.
Uh huh.
Like he announced that he was going to get his vaccine soon, but you're making a last minute meet and greet and with no vaccine yet. How is that any way, shape, or form smart? Putting in
Not
danger
at
a lot of
all.
people. Yeah. And people who are fans, obviously they're like, "Oh, I met Jeffree Star. Oh, let me see a picture of you." And they're like, "Oh no, you have a mask on. How can I know that's really you?" Obviously, people are going to want to take off their mask to prove like physically that they were there. Because with a mask, you sometimes can't even really tell. But like a lot of fans did take off their masks to have this picture. So it was very crowded. Everyone was on top of each other. And I don't understand why people can't just respect. Like, if you're going to go out shopping, yeah, still keep your 6 feet apart, wear your mask, do this and do that. Like, you can still do some stuff while, like, enjoying yourself, but also, like, respect the boundaries. Because, like, even on the other day, I went on a line to the Kinokuya bookstore. I literally had somebody almost on top of me while I was keeping my distance from the person in front of me. Like, that makes no sense. If you obviously see me trying to keep distance with the person in front of me, why the hell do you think it's okay to be literally almost on top of me behind me?
Because they don't care about you.
They don't care. But that doesn't make the line go any faster. I move one step, they're literally one step behind me.
They don't care.
They're not, the line's not moving any faster, boo boo. Like, I don't understand. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people with these big platforms are doing the craziest things, which then they want to make a 2 minutes apology video for what? Your rant and saying all these hurtful things, or your vlogs or your videos affecting other people. Your Instagram stories are longer than these apology videos you put up. So how much are you even sorry about this for? Like, makes no sense.
They
And
just care about the views.
they do. And that's like, as a teacher, seeing that like these 12, 13, 11-year-old, 16-year-old kids, because most of their platform are kids. Like their following are kids, and they think things like this is okay.
Right.
No, it's not. Definitely not. But like, because they don't have the personality, or they're not doing all the scandal stuff, like YouTubers who are very wholesome and are trying to do things right and clean are not getting as much subscribers, are not getting the attention they deserve. Like, for example, Stephanie Sue, she's all at like at a 2 million subscriber mark. Wow, freaking, like I said, um, Shane Dawson, Jake Paul, Jeffree Star, they're at 10 plus million subscribers, 20 plus million subscribers. Their platforms are huge, making a ton of money just to show it off to people and then do wrong things with it.
Right.
And I
Um.
do notice a trend that it's like, I follow medium average size YouTube channels like Jazzy Guns, or Dwayne and Jazz, Stephanie Sue, Rice and Slice and Rice, um, Trisha, which is, she's at only 4 million, but she still has a big voice. Um, Most of them either have an issue that people are just like, let's not pay attention to them, or they're people of color, and I've just noticed that.
Uh huh.
Like, don't you notice that? Or is it just like, because
I mean, it's a lot easier to be popular as a white person because there's more white people, so they're gonna watch more white people.
I guess.
I mean, that really just seems to be what it is. Because like other countries have their own video platforms, and obviously, like their own people are popular on those platforms as well. So since like in the U.S., like we're mostly white, so the white people are more popular just to start out with. It doesn't really matter what they do.
I mean, but like YouTube is like mostly a global thing, unless it's like restricted like China, right? It's mostly used everywhere. So like, I only know of one like Mexican YouTuber who's in the probably in the 30 million. And I like his videos. Like he just travels all around the world and like experiences cultures. Like he's not doing anything scandalous,
Uh huh.
but he's only one out of the how many we have that are doing a lot more damage than good. So like, and he's the only Mexican person like that so far. If you want guys want to correct me on that, you can leave it in the comments below. I would like to see more people of color with bigger platform that we don't really talk much about. And what surprises me is that he, Luisillo Comunica, he has like a 30 plus million subscriber count, but he only speaks in Spanish, which is so like heartwarming to me because like that means just a lot of people either just don't understand what he's saying but love his videos, or it's just a whole community of like the Latin Latino Hispanic community, Latinx community following him.
Right.
Because there's not many out there that kind of can actually give these videos with high quality uh and like camera crews and everything like all of these other YouTubers have.
Yeah, I think someone's hammering in the room over. Sorry, I think you can
Oh
hear
no,
it.
I can't hear it.
Oh, but like, yeah, I guess there are those random channels where minorities do get like super popular because I guess they bring their own audiences over from whatever other platform they had before. I believe that's happened a lot with like some Korean YouTubers and a few Chinese ones. I haven't really been
Hmm.
following them, but I believe that's really what's been happening. Like someone can bring over like a few 100,000 or a couple million followers from their own country's main platform onto YouTube, and it sort of like helps them stay elevated on YouTube itself rather than having to start from scratch.
Same thing with those who started on Vine or TikTok have been doing the exact same thing.
Right. So you bring
Putting
over a community where you were super popular, be like, hey, I'm now on this platform, so follow me there. And you just basically start off with privilege.
yeah. And I do want to also like bring out that like there are top YouTubers like for example Sea Dog VA, the Anime Man, and I forgot his name, but like I listened to their podcast and they were talking about how they love watching smaller YouTubers because they're a lot more wholesome. They like seeing how much they grow and how much they learn as they progress through YouTube as a very, very small like channel because they're genuine. Like now, a lot of these bigger channels, they're so not genuine that it's like you're kind of reading off a script, or you are now putting yourself into this role that you have to be and you can't get out of. Like you're not yourself anymore, basically.
Right. I think that might have happened with Markiplier at one point. He felt like he was doing videos that he didn't really fully support or didn't really believe that was what he was. So he took a break from YouTube for a bit, and then he came back and basically uh, he was still doing like similar stuff, but he was focused more on like what he wanted to do.
Hmm.
But it does seem like he does have like a fake personality in a lot of his videos. I mean, I still like them, but you can tell that he's like playing it up and stuff.
Yeah, and like again, also again, like you can also be a big YouTuber with a good platform and still be yourself. Like Rooster Teeth, they're never gonna change. That's just who they are. Um,
Well, I think Rooster Teeth actually did undergo a lot of drama
oh,
the past few months. I didn't follow, but I heard that there were like several accusations against people.
never mind. I spoke too soon. Then Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. I don't really follow that stuff, but I probably wrong, but I believe there might have been like a pedophilia accusation to someone,
Oh
and then I
my.
think one of their main cast, Ryan, died or passed away or something.
Oh no.
So like I guess they were undergoing a lot of changes, and then Bernie, their like main guy, also left Rooster Teeth.
Oh my gosh, I haven't followed them in so long. You know what? I literally spoke too soon.
Yeah, I think Gus might be the only original person still
What
there.
about Michael?
I don't remember. I don't think he's there anymore. I really don't know. I'm still years behind on the podcast and videos and stuff, so I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I did see some like update posts.
That kind of
I just
reminds
skimmed
me
through them.
of like BuzzFeed. Like a lot of people who became like a lot of individuals in BuzzFeed are famous because their face on BuzzFeed, and I've been seeing a lot of why I left BuzzFeed, and and I never wanted to watch any of those videos because I have a feeling that it was gonna be negative stuff. So like
Right.
I'm
I
just like
mean,
I'm
it's
always
probably
seeing
always negative stuff if someone's leaving
yeah
a platform that they were popular on.
yeah. So like that's why I'm like okay, like maybe I don't know. That's why I stopped watching BuzzFeed because like a lot of the people that I actually liked on BuzzFeed have been pulling out of BuzzFeed. And I
Like
do
BuzzFeed Blue.
yeah, like Pero like
Uh-huh.
BuzzFeed Blue, what's the other one? BuzzFeed Mr. Unsolved Mysteries,
Uh-huh.
because now they have their own Netflix show, so I now am going to watch them on there. But like their regular BuzzFeed Unsolved without the two main guys for that one, I don't watch anymore. Because it's not them anymore. And
Right.
I try to do their BuzzFeed Unsolved Mysteries podcast. I didn't like the host for that. Like the way they edit the whole podcast just seemed like they could have done as a video. They
Uh-huh.
try to make it a video form, like if you were watching a BuzzFeed video but on audio, like if you were to put your video, like your phone in your pocket and you were just listening to it, that's how it felt like, which I don't like. um Honestly, when it comes down to podcasts, I need to feel like I'm just listening to people talk, not like dun dun, and then like all these, like you can hear the change from one video to another, or like one section to another. It doesn't
Like
seem
sound
like
effects and transitions and stuff.
yeah, I mean, but like you could have sound effects like Sweet Boys, which is Garrett Watts and Andrew, which they used to be friends with Shane Dawson, and I don't think they are anymore because of what was going on. And again, I think because Shane Dawson changed so much, they don't want to associate with things he's been doing. But they have sound effects, but they play around with it. I feel like I'm listening to people talk,
Uh-huh.
or I'm in the conversation with them, right? But like when you make a podcast sound like a video, and I'm just like, you might as well make it a video, then I just don't want to watch it or don't want to hear it. But yeah, so like BuzzFeed, the second I stop seeing the people that I actually like on there, I don't watch anymore. I think that's what happens with a lot of these big channels. I'm guessing with Rooster Teeth too. I don't know how many followers they lost because of the old cast is not there anymore, but there's allegations on them too, so I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know the details, so I don't want to say something I shouldn't say. But I believe it was something like that, similar to that, that was like pretty serious, and like they had to make a statement and all that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. The second you have to make a statement on your channel, that's when you kind of hit a bump that can easily go to rock bottom.
Right.
Like sometimes I would like to overlook some of the YouTubers apology videos, but then it just kind of rubs me the wrong way, and then it just kind of sits there the back of my head, and then I'm kind of like, I can't enjoy your stuff anymore because you did X, Y, and Z already.
Right. Well, like that, I guess that sort of idea really becomes something, even if it's not like a true allegation, and it turns out that it's not true. Like you still get that feeling, even though like something didn't actually happen.
Well, at
Which
least
is like a problem for like a lot of like of the like serious crime accusations. Like
mhm.
just because someone was accused, all of a sudden you have a different view of them.
Well, that's okay. I'll say this, like for me, that's a little different because I never watched James Charles, never watched any of his videos, right? When he had the allegation from like what's her name? Tati, when she kind of came out with, oh, James Charles has been, trying to get straight men to sleep with him and blah blah blah, this and that. When those allegations became not true, then I like, well, at least because I guess because I don't watch his videos, it was indifferent. Like, okay, you know what? I don't look at you like that way anymore because they ended up being false.
Uh-huh.
But now that like he's been like, I don't know if you heard, but he went on social media and YouTube and all this stuff saying that he was pregnant.
What?
And then that went south way fast. Like I didn't know about it until my students told me about it, and I was like, "Whoa, what?" And then they were like, "Yeah, he claimed that he was pregnant, and this, and that." And I was like, "Ugh, wait a minute, hold the phone. That sounds like it's not gonna end well," which it didn't. And now it's continually being like a thing that he's doing. After that is another thing, and after that is another thing like he's doing wrong. So like he's going downhill from there. uh like I can understand when like it's something's not true, then yes, fine. If it's completely not true and you're continuing being a good person, then I won't see you differently. But if you were accused of something and then you just go on to just be an ass, right, then I'm just like, you know what, I'm still gonna see you the same, like because you're not doing anything to help your situation either.
Uh-huh.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like that sounds kind of bad because now I just thought, let's say if somebody, was sexually assaulted, like you know what I mean? No, you don't get like you have every right to be hurt, to, go to the police and all of that stuff. Even if you weren't, even if society thinks you're not doing things correctly, you did not deserve to be raped, stuff like that. I'm talking about like, how do I explain it? Because I know you understand what I'm trying to say. It just not, wording is not coming out of my mouth correctly right now. Like, basically with like, if Tana Mojo with her TanaCon, like let's say she honestly didn't know that 5,000 people couldn't fit into a 1,000 people capacity, like okay, she's in the clear because she didn't do that right. I mean, like, it wasn't her fault. But if you're still now doing other things, and I'm just like, okay, I can excuse you for one thing, but I'm not going to excuse you for all the other shit you do. You know?
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. Ooh, before I get canceled for saying something. Like, I'm not good with words, you guys. My vocabulary is like very, very small. Oh, God.
Speak in Spanish. Maybe you'll be able
No,
to word it better.
no. I don't want to.
Oh.
I could, don't want to. Because like I have to teach Spanish anyways, and then if I'm not saying things correctly, then I just feel stupid.
Uh-huh.
Like even with my
Uh
English, I feel stupid already.
Words are hard, okay?
Words are hard.
So don't worry about that.
But how do you feel about people targeting small YouTubers though?
I mean, I don't know why they would. It just doesn't make sense from just like a logistical standpoint to spend all that energy on someone that doesn't really matter that much. So I don't know really what's going on.
I don't know either. Like I don't see, I mean, obviously, like I said at the very beginning, like even if you're a small YouTuber with like 300, 400, even 1,000 subscribers, like you have some influence from just the people who follow you. I would still say don't do things that
Don't do drugs.
don't do drugs. Don't do things that you know is not right. Because even if you kind of do a slip up, like I just almost did, trying to correct myself, people will still find a way to be like, you're racist, or you are victim shaming, or you're doing this, or you're doing that, or you're promoting like go have parties in COVID time, or all of this stuff. Like things like that can still get you in trouble, even as a small YouTuber.
Right.
I would say don't do that. um,
Don't do things. Just stay home.
Just don't, just stop doing life. Just like stop doing anything. Just be in bed, stare at the ceiling, think about nothing.
Turn off the internet forever.
Turn off the internet, get off of I'm kidding. But
Well,
like,
social media is not good for us.
no, social media definitely not. Apparently is not. Like, yes, it was supposed to share your thoughts and stuff from with people you're not close with. I mean, like not like you know the person, but like to share your life with people that you can't really see often and stuff like that to share. But now it's become a place where like anything can be posted up on there, whether it's good or bad, and all around. I don't, it influenced people not in the most positive way, but social media is good if you want to spread awareness to different things that should bring a positive light to stuff. Like right now we have the Black Lives Matter movement, the Stop Asian Violence. Like those are things that are positives
Right.
to bring up in social media. But to, like I said, to promote like house parties or promoting like drugs or promoting things that can actually affect somebody negatively,
Like
that's bad.
the face app thing or whatever, where basically you change your entire bone structure and face completely. You look like a completely different person, and you're posing as that fake identity. I
Hmm.
believe that's like a lot of negative influence just to make yourself feel better.
Yeah, and a lot of body shaming, honestly. Like we're trying to put all these people like in a standard, and if you're not at that standard, you're not doing anything well in life, and that's not the case.
Right. I think Instagram makes it very easy for that to happen just because it's a platform of pictures
Right.
and people are going to post a lot of selfies there.
I know Facebook had a time where they were spreading false fake news because they just allowed anybody to post anything whatever they wanted. Again, people would say it's free speech, but it does affect how people get their information. A lot
Right.
of people
But
get
like
their
it was
information from
even
Twitter.
like the advertisements and sponsors, like none of it was fact checked and it was just allowed to be on the site. I believe that was like the big thing.
That was also, yeah, another big thing, especially when it came down to the Trump administration. um a lot of the fake news was up there, and that's how a lot of people were like, see, I have sources, and it's like, well, this is not accurate sources because again, it wasn't fact checked. But I'm glad now Twitter is now fact checking everybody, and they took down Trump's Twitter account, so that's good. I hope Facebook is actually doing better with their fact checking, because that's where I heard a lot of, even outside countries from like the United States, like other countries around the world have been getting their sources from Facebook. Um, which if it's fake news, then it's incorrect news. So like social media just needs to be careful with what it does.
Yeah, I haven't used Facebook in like 6 years, 6 years, I think, 5 or 6.
I don't use it. I just scroll to like the memes and see what everyone else is doing, and then I just get off.
Uh huh.
I'm like, bye. Instagram, I do more because I upload pictures of what I unbox and stuff, but I don't really do much on there either. I mostly am on YouTube, where my where I want to, share stuff. I share it on my second channel. If I want to play something, I'll share it on my gaming channel. If I want to show people what I bought, I put it on my main channel.
Uh huh. That's a lot of videos though. I don't
I've
know how you do it.
I've been doing all right. It's like posting 3 videos a week now because I play Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, Little Nightmares 1, which is both on the gaming channel, and then I
There's
do
a
my,
Little Nightmares too.
not yet. I haven't
Oh,
done that one yet. Um
oh, but
and
it is a game though, right?
yeah, it is a game.
Okay.
And which I will do after Little Nightmares 1, maybe take a break from it, play another game and then go on to that one.
Uh huh.
And I've been doing a lot of the unboxings, which I'm very glad because I finally am now getting all my anime statues coming in. My pre-orders have been coming in. So today, literally, I just got a knock on the door from FedEx, and I think that's my Tsunade. That's a little hint.
Uh
Don't know
huh.
when I'm gonna be opening that one because I do one video a week for that channel. But yeah, I've gotten my pre-orders are starting to come in, so I'm so happy about that.
So that means you can stop spending, right?
Spending on to Louis Vuitton, yes. On Gucci, yes. So right now I don't have to spend on figures because I already placed an orders on them, so I'm just getting charged as they come in,
Uh huh.
which next month will look very scary for me. I think I spent more than my paychecks, but you know what?
Uh,
Big sad for me,
oops.
right? Um, because I started buying statues and figures, um, because I wasn't sure when the other pre-orders were coming, so I did buy a lot this month,
I
and
feel like
now
you fell into a trap.
I fell into a trap because literally now that after I bought a bunch of things, my pre-orders are coming in. So now it's double the expenses all in 1 month. So now I'm just like, oh crap, now I overdid it.
I guess you have to live on ramen for a month.
Well, it's funny, it's literally like 140 right now on a Sunday and I still haven't eaten. So I'm trying to keep it to one meal of the day type thing.
Uh huh.
Cause
How's that
yeah,
working?
it's I mean, I was feeling hungry at about like 10. I drank some water. It kind of went away. Now I'm feeling hungry again, but I'll just drink some more water. Um, and probably have something because I have to actually go do a little grocery shopping in like a bit. But yeah.
No, you don't want to buy things that you don't actually need.
Yeah, I don't, because like I'm trying to avoid ordering. That's even more expensive than me just going to buy a few ingredients and just prepare something at home.
Uh huh.
So, yeah, I
So
rather
you
cook.
you have to pay for groceries now.
I mean, only when I cook. Usually on the weekdays, my parents are the ones they're making food, so I don't really gotta do or buy groceries or any of that.
Uh
It's
huh.
only when I choose to make my own food, I end up going out. I do the Japanese style, only buy things when I need them.
Uh huh.
Which usually the ingredients I buy, I'll spend maybe like $25, maybe less, $20.
On one meal.
No, it will actually hold up for 2 or 3 days, honestly.
Okay.
Because with what I buy, it's easy. Mexican food is pretty easy. You buy one set and then it lasts you for like a whole week. And it might be like one meal can cost like $50, $60, but it lasts you for the whole week.
Uh huh.
So if you were to divide maybe $60 for 7 days, it comes out to how much? And you eat like multiple times a day. Even if you were to spend $100 on a meal that you're going to cook, but it usually comes out like a lot. We Mexicans eat, we eat a lot. But it comes out to a lot, and it holds out. It holds out. So because we
Right.
make a lot. So yeah, it's easy, and the ingredients are pretty much all vegetables. The most expensive thing that we have to buy is probably the meat, the protein, or any cheese that we use. But like lettuce, tomatillos, chile, cilantro, tomates, like tomatoes, any of like the actual vegetables are pretty cheap.
Uh huh.
So even tortillas are very cheap.
What
Like
about the special salt, or is that
that is
only
actually
for
pretty.
one dish? Really?
It's literally almost only like the salsas,
Right. Okay.
to be honest, and you're only using a teaspoon. That's gonna last you for a whole year. You're not really using much. Like in my family, we don't even make Mexican food all the time. But when I do cook, I tend to want to make Mexican food because it's easier, it's cheaper, and it's very delicious. But
Not tamales though.
oh no, tamales take so much fucking effort and so much work. You know what? That's why I only want to do it once a year.
Uh huh.
Which literally we do it for Christmas, but I do not want to look at tamales. I don't even eat tamales. I make tamales and I don't even eat them because I don't actually like them like that, and also because I've been traumatized with them. But
Sad.
yeah, so I don't really eat them anymore. Literally, the last time I had them, I think I was like what 5 or 6. No, I was probably 7. Honestly, that was the last time I had one. So yeah,
Haven't had one ever since then.
sad.
Huh.
Well, yeah, I haven't. But yeah, let's make good content for people, you know?
Yeah, about that. I don't make content.
So sad.
I have the videos. They're sitting there,
You
not doing
should.
anything with
You
them.
got computers now, and yet you're not even picking up a video to edit.
Eh,
What's the point of getting computers then?
I I lied to myself and said I would be using it for stuff like that.
Now you wasted money.
Maybe.
You should. You should try to go back. You still are gaining subscribers. I like sometimes watch your count. I'm like, who's subscribing? I'm kidding. No, but like you haven't been posting stuff, so I'm surprised, you know?
Yeah.
Usually, to gain subscribers, you have to be consistent.
Uh, I guess people are just hitting the wrong button. Rather
Hitting
than
the wrong button,
the big red X, they hit the big red subscribe.
right? No, you need to make more. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I have to finish the Final Fantasy VII videos and the Tomb Raider videos. I haven't even played Shadow of the Tomb Raider because I haven't finished uploading my Rise of the Tomb Raider videos.
You should do that.
I wait, I haven't even finished Rise of the Tomb Raider. I just had to stop because I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then I never went back to Rise of the Tomb Raider because I was behind on video, so I didn't want to take up space.
So you should go back and do that.
It's a vicious cycle where I don't want to touch it.
Oh my gosh. I'm doing 2 videos a week,
You said three.
but that's for the gaming channel. I'm doing 2 videos a week.
Uh huh.
For the other one is different. And also because I'm also not doing hardcore editing. Um, I literally want to just get straight to like my actual gameplay. This is what I'm doing play. If I'm doing anything extra, like if I die 3 or 4 times, then I cut those parts out. If I find something that's funny, I'll enhance or I'll edit more on that section. But that really, like, you don't need to do a whole bunch of stuff.
I I feel like I need to edit things in because I don't have a face cam. I don't have a face cam, and I'm kind of boring. So I feel like I need to enhance my videos with memes.
No, no. Well, the memes are not that hard to do, honestly. I mean, at least I don't think.
I guess it's time consuming just to think up something and then like actually do it in the editing because I don't know how to really do it. So I have to figure it out.
For me, I'm very good at like memorizing my whole video, so I know exactly where I want to cut out certain sections. I do watch my videos throughout, like through the whole thing, just to make sure, because I
Uh-huh.
also have to align the my video footage to the gameplay's video footage. I have to cut things out at the same exact time, and I know where I want to cut out
You
because,
don't have a way to link the audio with the video?
well, it's 2 separate videos that I have to link together.
Right, but like the program you use doesn't let you lock it in, so you can just do like single cuts for both.
I don't know if it does. Again, didn't really check it out, but
Uh-huh.
it doesn't really take me that much time to do that.
Right. I don't know.
So, like for example, Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition will usually be about an hour long because I do 2 missions per video. But Little Nightmares, I'm doing by chapters. So the first video was actually an hour long, about an hour long. But the other two, no, the other 3 parts have been what, 30, 25 minutes long because they're shorter.
Uh-huh.
Um, so as long as I do it by chapters, if it was like by missions, then it wouldn't be that long. It'd be like a half an hour each video. But I choose to do 2 missions per time because I'll have longer videos, I'll have shorter videos. I don't want to keep everything as very short or very long. So that's why I just do it that way. Um,
Right. I guess
so
with me, I don't like cutting out too much because I like to see context, and like a lot of jump cuts are not that good, I would think. So I guess I don't really cut out that much from my videos. So like the 2 hour long videos came from like a 2.5 hour raw video. So I didn't cut out that
mm.
much, but so the video is still super long and takes forever to render and all that. And like I guess
But
I don't really.
do you do like 1 mission per video or like 2 missions per video or like wherever you feel like you want to stop?
It was wherever I was when the recording ended because those like hour-long recordings was like the limit, and sometimes it cut off like a minute or two before.
Hmm.
So like I would have like an hour, or I would like combine them if I felt like it was like the same area. I would like, okay, I can probably do 2 videos for this one since it's like the whole like same mission sort of deal.
Okay.
I think that's what I did with one of the Final Fantasy 7 videos.
Oh, okay, because like there are some games, like for example, Devil May Cry will stop you. Like this is the end of the mission.
Right.
Would you like to continue? And
So
I'm
like
just like,
that makes it easy
yes.
to cut your videos.
Yeah. Little Nightmares is a little different because it doesn't tell you. It kind of just the video, like the gameplay, will go into darkness.
Uh-huh.
long loading mode, and then we'll bring you to the next chapter, but it won't tell you you're in the next chapter.
Right.
But
So,
usually when that happens, you know that's the end of the chapter.
yeah, Final Fantasy 7 also did have chapters, but they were like long chapters, so like you couldn't really cut to those.
Hmm.
A couple times I think I did, but like eventually you're like, okay, I have to stop the video here. There's no way I'm getting to the next chapter. And I think some chapters were even in the middle of uh like exciting parts, so you don't really want to cut at those points.
Right. I mean, I guess like
I know. I
with
think I stopped uploading at the exact moment where the game was actually starting to get more exciting. Like you'd get I didn't upload the video where you get to the wall market and you do all these different side missions and Cloud gets an address and all that. Like I didn't upload any of that yet.
right. Oh gosh. I mean, I might have to restart my whole Final Fantasy VII remake because I only did chapter one.
Uh-huh.
So I might as well just like make that as like another gameplay on my channel since I was very close to the beginning anyways.
Right.
So it's easy to just like restart the whole thing. But since Little Nightmares, for example, it's my first time ever playing it, I had to search up the chapters to make sure I'm cutting it at where I need to be. I'm not going way too ahead or under. Um, so I know where I'm at and where I have to cut. But
Did that spoil things for you though?
no, because the titles will be like the kitchen,
Uh-huh.
the layer, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna be in a kitchen for one chapter, but I checked that out literally right after the video. Like I'll pause, check, and I'm like, okay, it seems like I'm done now. So then that's what I'll be like, hey, so I'm done with the video, blah blah blah. This is now. See you next time, bye bye. Like that will be me. Like I make sure like at some parts, I'll just pause, and that's usually the parts where I would have to edit out because it's just me looking up at my phone seeing my done with chapter. With
Uh-huh.
Devil May Cry is a lot easier because it literally tells you like this is your score, you suck. So I'm like, okay,
Basically.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's how I do mine, but it's not that bad. You just have to be consistent with it and put yourself on a schedule to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stream.
I did that for like a week and then I stopped.
Yeah, you could stream, but like I noticed not a many people will watch it because you might not even be streaming at during a time where people would want to watch it. Um, and if you're and your streams needs to be like, for example, if you're playing a stream on the PlayStation 4, you need to know your stream can be an hour, about an hour, or something like that. Because then it just kind of cuts out.
Does it?
It's yeah, especially if you're doing like
Huh.
the PS4 chat instead of like using actual YouTube or whatever other system it is, but like it kind of cuts it so you have to do the hour again and that usually becomes a second video. But yeah. I mean again, I don't know. I haven't streamed anything yet, but I do want to do a stream one of these days, maybe a little later in the future. But I also want to do like what do you call it? Gaming with friends 'cause I haven't done that yet.
Well, we did do it once.
Yeah, but I didn't put it up on my channel because
Yeah,
I
me either. I forgot to do that.
no,
I took a clip and that was it.
yeah, no. For me, it was like I only was able to record half of what we did,
Right.
so there was no point for me to upload a whole video with only half of the content. So I just decided not to do it at all. But I did get a request to play Fall Guys again, so
Uh-huh.
well, we were gonna need to figure out a day where we all can do that with Joe as well. See how that goes. But yeah. We just got off of our topic, but you know what? Us small YouTubers would also like to contribute and tell you what we've been doing if you guys are even interested in becoming a small YouTuber and you're trying to grow your channel. Um,
Yeah, I would recommend not doing hour-long videos. That just makes it difficult for you like personally to keep uploading stuff. Just like if you are into like editing at all, then it just takes up too much time. So it's better to have like shorter videos where you just have like highlights of Like your gameplay, you could do that rather
But
than
it
like
also
the full length
depends on the
walkthrough.
content. Because for gaming, hour-long videos are normal.
Right,
You
but like
what?
it's difficult to start out that way
Oh yeah, definitely.
unless you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do like long plays of like every game that I ever do.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
but
if
like
you've already started
that's
off
like
with editing, then you're good. But if you're gonna go straight into gaming or doing something with long videos without any prior experience, then I would agree. Don't do long videos.
I mean, if you're not gonna edit at all, you might as well just like stream it and have it
Yeah.
like upload automatically, so you don't even have to worry about it.
But I would say if you're gonna stream, you need to have a good amount of followers because if not, you're just gonna get like 2 or 3 views, and it's not good. You're not gonna benefit from that. You might as well do your own gameplays,
But like stream
edit
on
them.
YouTube so that it just becomes one of your videos, right?
No, right, but how do I say this? If you're doing streaming, you want to do it so that people can join you at the moment. If not, your edited videos would be better if you want to popularize your videos.
Uh-huh.
Because raw footage isn't something that a lot of people like. It's not the best thing to do if you're trying to grow. Not saying your views and subscriber counts are important, but what if you are trying to bring the interest of other people using your own interest, then edited videos would be best. Because if you just stream all the time with no editing whatsoever, and people are like, oh, he streamed like what 3 days ago? Yeah, okay. The oh, this is this game. Oh, I don't really care. Like, cause like wherever you are in a game, you're probably in the middle of a game, right? And you're just streaming because you're in the middle of the game and you didn't have a part one, part two, part three. Then everyone's like gonna be like, oh, I'm not interested because I
Uh-huh.
want to see different parts. I want to see the whole gameplay. So you just have to be very careful when you do streaming. And if you're also going to stream, you also want to do it at a time where most people are available, but you would need to know your subscribers for that.
Uh-huh.
I am more of an advocate for editing and doing your own stuff, but if you feel more uncomfortable with the streaming, then you can do that too. Who am I to talk? I'm not that big anyway, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, everyone has their own way of doing things, so try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, why not? Try it out, see what happens. But yeah. So after we were talking about scandals and like promoting our own versions of how we would want to do things, it is time to end the episode,
Oh no.
right? But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know a lot of you, or hopefully a lot of you, are see what's going on. Even if you don't care, I mean, just think about it. If you're going to be an influencer, because if you even have a small group of followers, you're technically influencing somebody. Just don't do things bad or don't do good things that end up looking bad, you know? Like you don't have your intentions weren't bad, but they ended up being looking bad. Don't do things like that because
I mean, you can even donate to charity and it turns out it's the wrong kind of charity or like the charity itself is bad and then you look bad, so you I don't know. People
I
have
don't
to
know, just don't do
research their own
things.
things.
Yeah, don't do things that's gonna make you look bad. Um, Even if it's just an impulsive move, like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Like just be wholesome, just be you. Do what you like. You're gonna have your own fans no matter what because fans look for personalities. Now, if they are very brainwashed with this is how you are, even though you're giving a false persona, then that's also on whatever the fans like. I don't know. I don't have 3 million subscribers, so I don't know. I don't know.
300 million.
300. Oh my gosh. I don't think that will ever happen to anybody, to
Uh-huh.
be honest. But imagine, oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to us in this week's podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you want to listen to us in different platforms, all of those links will be in the description below. Unfortunately, there's no comment section for any of the other platforms but YouTube. So if you want to leave your opinion, please let us know in the comments below. We would like to read some of your opinions that is actually, and we'll try to respond to them as much as we possibly can, since even though we don't really get many, but that's okay. But yeah, any last words?
Be yourself. Don't do
Yay!
drugs,
Don't do drugs
and be nice to other people.
and wear your mask.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go off. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.